Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right. The other day, I had a client, old client of mine who I've known for a couple of years. And the client said, Loy, I'd like to book a session with you. Perfectly fine. Okay, I just want to talk to you about a couple of things. And I could sense that something was really weighing in on this client. Okay. Um, to give you a little bit of profile without sharing the identity, the person works in a multinational company and runs a business at the side. Okay, Indian passport holder, and is doing fairly well. Fairly well. It's not bad or it's not very good. Like fairly well means in the sense that the person's happy, satisfied. But that doesn't mean it doesn't come without its challenges. The guy has 3 kids. Okay, all going to college, and wife who's also working in one of his businesses and is like running independently. So he is like more of the upper middle class. Okay. So I was a little taken aback when he said, just want to talk to you, man. There's something really bothering me. Perfectly fine. He's a couple of years elder to me. Okay. So when we had the session, when we spoke up, at first, the common pleasantries and all that. And later on, he just told me, man, I just want to share with you. I'm just feeling burnt out, man. Just really burnt out. So I asked him, like, what exactly happened? Like, what's killing you? And what he shared with me was there were a couple of cancelled projects that took place. Year end, he was expecting the confirmation to jumpstart 2024. Um, they have been cancelled. Then the second problem that he faced, 1 minute. One second, I just wanted to be sure about something. Okay. All right. So one is the projects were cancelled. Sorry. Yeah, I was telling you, projects were cancelled. The second one was a couple of people who had to pay him money in terms of like the projects completed or people who took his materials or whatever. Um, some of them, their business closed down. Some of them, they genuinely have problems, so he can't take them to court or anything, and it's not worth it. Okay. So payment is stuck or bad debts. And then on top of that, obviously, the toughest one is employees, retaining employees. He had spent certain amount of money on training them, and now they are leaving, and that is creating a vacuum. He's finding it very hard to manage. Now, that is in terms of his business. In terms of the company that he's working for, the multinational company, even though the future looked like, things are improving from COVID, now the company has decided we need to cut down on certain staff. So maybe he might lose his job. So he's stressed out over there. Now, it's not that he's going to be on the road. He has enough savings. But if he does lose his job, he is at a senior level. That'll eat into the revenue that comes in. Every month he gets a salary. Let's say, whatever high salary, say $20,000 a month, for example. Now, if that goes, then he has to generate that elsewhere, right? Because it's guaranteed income. And with his job, he has a lot of contacts and connections. So once he loses that position of power, then, those relationships also get strained. And then on top of that, the personal stuff that his children are studying in college, and he wants to make sure that their grades are good, and health-wise, he is not up to the mark. And okay, so he shared all these problems with me, but the biggest one that he did tell me was, I'm finding it a bit too hard to mentally take it all in. He's saying every day I get up, there are hundreds of things up my alley. There are hundreds of things that I open the email, oh, this problem, that problem. I have to constantly think of those problems. I have to be at my A game. I have to just imagine, from morning, he has to be at his A game with the multinational company. And after that finishes off, then he goes to his business. He has to be at his A game as a leader there. And, it just never ends. And by the time the day is over, he is exhausted. Exhausted. He has literally told me, like, I just go home, I just crash. He's like, sometimes I don't even want to take off my office clothes. That exhausted I am. He's saying, I just have a shower and I'm like, I can't even think of eating anything. I sleep. Now, I'm pretty aware of the fact that many of you may not have such a extreme schedule. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of areas which are stressful for you. You might have, let's say, a job problem. You might have, maybe your salary is not enough. Maybe your boss is an asshole. Maybe you're not happy with your career. My dog barking. Someone has come. Yeah. Maybe you have health issues. Maybe you have a relationship crisis. Maybe uh, your partner or your friend, or maybe it can be even things in the family are not up to the mark, or you're not getting along with certain people, or let's say even sometimes I get some of my community members who support me. They just tell me, sir, I'm so confused about my life. I don't know where am I headed. Every day I go by bus and by train. I'm listening to the podcast, but my life, nothing is happening. So there are quite a number of challenges that we face, and mentally, it can be very, very exhausting. In fact, I'll tell you, even a bad marriage can be exhausting like crazy, or having a toxic boss or a toxic work environment. It can drive you mad, yeah. Totally crazy. And then the question is, what the hell do you do, man? See, whenever people book my services, now, whenever people book me as, let's say, a coach or a mentor or a trainer, it's very easy. It's very easy for me to take the high road. Oh, be mentally tough. Never give up. Motivational talk. I can do that. But I know for a fact that is stupid, man. Give them, never give up. Listen to this video. Listen to that podcast. Can give them some motivational talk. That's bullshit. Yeah. Come on. Or I can be like some other coaches who are there, be agony. Oh my, this is so bad. Tell me more. I can just keep, being like an agony aunt, and oh, you can cry on my shoulder. I'm there for you. Because the person's paying me money, I can be like sugary sweetie, and oh, it's okay. Come on. You're better than that. Okay. So what do I do? If you are in my place, what would you do? Would you tell them motivational, inspirational stuff and come on, never give up, and like a coach and all that? Or would you be like a, agony aunt? Or would you just be a listener, like, some psychologist and psychiatrist? Yes, yes, okay, tell me. Okay. Over the years of being a coach and consultant and mentor and trainer, what I've realized, this is me, huh? I don't know about others. What I've realized is you need to keep it real. Okay, you need to keep it real. But at the same time, you need to know there are some people who just want to talk and feel light. There are some people who just want to talk. They'll book my session just to talk and know that there's someone ready to listen to them. Some people are like that. Some others, they will actually call me or book my session to listen to what they want to listen to. Like, there are many people who have made up their mind to get married, and they will they'll tell you, should I marry this person, yes or no? But they want to hear, yes, you should get married. Means they want to get married, but they'll act as if, I don't know whether I should marry this person, yes or no. Is this person bad? The person smokes and drinks and sleeps around. Do you really think I should marry? So they know it's bad, but they want to hear good stuff. There are people like that also. Then there are other people who want two, three slaps and abuses and insults. They want like a tough love coach. And then there are others who just call and ask you, say, listen, I want the logical solution. What do you think is the best thing? You just tell me, I'll decide for myself. My approach has been, first I need to evaluate which category this person is, because if a person is not interested to listen what you're ready to tell them, then it's like, sometimes my parents will say, yeah, talking to you is like it goes from this year and comes out of this year. My parents will say that. Or some people will say, talking to you is like talking to a refrigerator. There's no reaction. Or it's like they say, talking to a wall. So first you need to figure out which category the person is. And second is, can the person handle the truth? Like, Jack Nicholson said in Few Good Men, tell me the truth. Can you handle the truth? So after you have evaluated that, see, because people are different kinds. Yeah, there are some, like there was this particular female, when I told her the truth, she broke down and sobbed like mad. I was like, and this is my younger days. I was like, oh sheesh, I just the person's hurt and I'm hurting the person more. And the person was like, oh, I'm already broken. Don't break me anymore. I don't need to. And I was like, oh, she didn't come to me for a solution. She just came to me to talk to like a friend, even though she paid me as a client. So after you evaluate that, then you need to figure out what is the approach, what is the tone, what is the way. But the one thing which I've always believed is, whether the person likes it or the person doesn't like it, you have to tell the truth. If someone is, let's say, fat and ugly and wants to become a Victoria's Secret model, and believe it or not, I have already shared with you examples of this. If you are my old timer, you know this. Indian female in her 40s, means model, good enough, but she wants to be Victoria's Secret. That is when that brand was big. You're never going to be, man. You're an Indian passport holder in India with just modeling gigs which are local. How are you going to go to Victoria's Secret in USA? Who's going to give you, first is who's going to give the visa? How are you going to go there? Even after you get the visa, how are you going to approach them? And they are super skinny and they hardly eat and they're white and they are targeting a certain segment of the market. What makes you stand out? Or there is someone from Pakistan who wanted to be a WWE wrestler, and he genuinely wanted to be. He every day doesn't go to school, doesn't go to college, doesn't go to work, only practices that. I have to tell him the truth, right? You can't be a WWE superstar. You're in Pakistan. Okay, there is maybe one exception, one in a billion. So based on that exception to the rule, do I tell him that you can also do it? There are people who like, oh, I love this girl. I cannot live without this girl. I'm going to die. And she doesn't respect me. Boss, even if you get married to her, it's not going to work out. Or someone wants to get a very good salary, or, sometimes it's heartbreaking when you get, like I got this guy, he's 62 or 65, and he wanted a, a, a better job than what he was getting. His employer was exploiting him because he's at a retirement age. He took my service. I told him, there is nothing you can do now. You've crossed that age for your situation. So, what solution I adopt or the strategy? Number one, I have to give them my version of the truth at least. I'm not saying, what I'm saying is universal fact. Okay? But it has to be a truth, a certain element. Like someone at 70 cannot be an Olympian, man. Like someone at 45 cannot be an NBA superstar who has never touched a basketball. There are certain facts. Even if it is my version of truth, it's a fact. You can't be a multi-millionaire, billionaire if you have not had any business experience. Oh, that guy did it. That guy did that. You're not that guy. First is, I have to tell them the truth. The second one is, I put myself in their shoes and I ask myself, did I go through such a challenge or something like that? And where it comes down to this guy who spoke to me, I obviously, I'm not working in a multinational company and running a business and having 3 college kids. How can I give him advice on? He'll be like, because mentally you have to always keep this in mind. He can turn around and say, man, what the fuck do you know about having 3 kids? You can ask me. I have only 1 kid. He has 3. And that also, all 3 are in colleges. And that also super expensive colleges. Very, very expensive ones. And that also abroad. I don't have any experience. He has maybe millions of dollars of turnover running a big business. You can say, what the fuck? You don't run a business, man. What the fuck are you talking? So I have to be very careful. Very, very careful. I have to know my place. So what I told him is, every single person goes through a struggle every single day. Sometimes the struggles are far more worse than what you can handle. And sometimes it is just day-to-day recurring headache. Let's say, for example, you have a toxic boss. You have a boss who's a piece of shit. Now, that's not a matter of life and death, but it is so bloody irritating sometimes. It can just suck out the energy just by looking at that person's face, or having colleagues who are total fucking idiots. Or let's say you're in a family where your mother or your mother-in-law is nagging. There are cases like this, nagging 24/7. Even there has been a case where one client where his wife literally bloody complains, nothing but complain to the point where he just doesn't want that marriage to happen. But then he can't break up also because he will lose quite a lot. Okay. So these are problems which will not kill you, but they'll drive you mad. Then there are medium level problems which can really affect you. They'll not kill you, but they'll definitely destroy your peace of mind or your health. Like, let's say, whatever salary you're earning, you're not saving a single penny. What do you do there? Let's say you're not able to hold a job for very long. And before you know it, you have to search for a new job. Or let's say your marriage of many years is not working out. And now when you come home, it's so uncomfortable. It's like you just avoid looking at each other eye to eye. Or let's say your health, you have arthritis, or you have heart related issues, or you have diabetes and your body's aching. And I'll tell you, that itself is so bloody terrible. Like, I know some people, they can't even sit on the chair and they are in pain constantly, and you can't work. So it doesn't kill you, but it drives you mad, yeah. Or let's say your boss promised you X amount of, you'll get a promotion, this thing, and you achieved your target, and now he's turned the tide and he has betrayed you. Coming to work it'll kill you, man. And then the last one, that is the extreme one. I'll give one example that'll make sense to you. This mother, I made a video on this. This mother, she was a wife. Her husband made her take a loan in her name, took the money, and he ran away with his new girlfriend, who is old enough to be his daughter, in another country. Now she has to pay his loan because she took loans under his name. And on top of that, why he betrayed her is because the business that they are running was going in a loss. He just left and dumped everything on her head. She was also the partner there. And then on top of that, they have 3 kids. All 3 are not normal. They have abnormal issues. Just dumped them and left them to her. And on top of all that, she has now cancer. What do you do? Tell me. Tell me. What advice can you give her? What can you tell her that will change her situation? And she has to manage the business which is not doing well. She has to pay the loans which the husband has taken. She has to manage the 3 kids who are not normal. Her own parents are no longer there because they're old and dead. Relatives don't want to deal with it. What do you do, man? And how do you explain to this person that what I give them a motivational speech? I give them a listening shoulder? So I've given you day-to-day irritation, serious, very serious. So first is, remember what I told you. First is analyze which bracket the person comes in. Second one is you have to give them the truth. The third one, which I tell them, is I tell them the fact that I myself go through challenges. Okay. And based on how appropriate it is, if someone is undergoing cancer, you can't tell them, man, I get headaches sometimes. Or my finger is paining, the nail, so, and cancer versus that, I can't. So I tell them the struggles that either I know from example or from myself. Like I'll tell you, even for me, just making videos like this, plus dealing with clients, plus dealing with this thing, is not a killer problem, but a challenge every single day. And if you notice, I'm very consistent, or I try to be as consistent as possible in uploading videos and dealing with my clients. Clients is priority, money. But have you ever thought about it that maybe there are days where I'm not feeling up to the mark? Maybe my energy levels are not up to the mark. Maybe my mood is not there. Maybe I have a creative block. Maybe this electricity is not there. Maybe it's my lawyer has called me, or my accountant has called me, or there is some work that my wife has suddenly emergency. I also live like a day-to-day human being, no? Not just 24/7 sit in the screen and everything is perfect. Like, are you aware of the fact that I'll give you this one which I've stated. Sometimes, or just example, few days ago, I tried to make a video for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. Whatever I was putting out, whatever video is coming out, every single one was like, oh man, it's not working. Or in between, I'm like, oh sheesh, I don't feel like it. Or I make a mistake, or I have to restart all over again. 3.5 hours struggling to make one video. Nothing came. The whole day went bad because I was trying to put up a video, nothing was coming. And guess what? You might find this really off the top. This continued for the next entire bloody week, man. I was struggling. Yes, I did put up the video, but I was struggling like mad. The the spell broke only after I finally ended up crashing, and I nearly slept for I think 14 or 16 hours. I just slept off. Like I just crashed. Next thing I woke up, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I slept so long. Like, generally for a guy who sleeps like 6 hours, 7 hours, yes, 12, 14 hours. And after that, just do a little bit of work and again sleep for another 8 to 10 hours. Showed that my body and mind were exhausted. See, end of the day, we all are human beings. We all have our challenges. We all have our problems. It can be whether studying for an exam. It can be relationship with your parents. It can be their health. It can be your future. It can be your business, it can be your money, it can be salary, it can be a toxic boss, a toxic work environment, it can be applying for jobs, you're not getting anything. It can be your love life, can be relationships, can be uh, you're just lost. You don't know where you're headed. There are 1,001 problems we all go through. In fact, sometimes even getting up in the morning can be very painful for some people because their health is not holding up. So I would just tell you that everybody goes through problems. Everyone goes. The challenge is for you to really do your best. Do your best for yourself. Do your best with what you have. And remember, life is truly a struggle. Truly a struggle. I'll just end by giving you one final example. Okay. These past 2 days, 3 days now. Okay. 3 days. I've been having a very, very severe pain on the side of my neck. Okay. This side, shoulder and neck. Been taking this tablets. And, yeah, I've been taking this one. This is for the back pain. I don't know. Let me see. Can you see it? Okay, I don't recommend taking tablets off the counter, but I've taken it with the prescription. Okay, I've been taking this along with my other tablets, which I have to take for my bariatric surgery. Okay, I've been trying to get sleep. It's been very hard. Okay, very, very hard to sleep. On top of that, I have to do work. My wife is not there, so I have to do work. Plus, on top of that, I have to provide for them if they have any request. And then there were certain issues of things that are not working in the house. Now, you might say, hey, that's not a big deal, yeah. Agreed. Totally not a big deal. But when I have to drive, I'll give you an example. When I have to drive from here, let's say 1.5 hour drive, just for a meeting, not related to my work, but related to maybe the lawyer or repairing of something, or, buying the stuff. 1.5 hour, go there, come back 1.5 hour, and 1 hour goes in, meeting and all that. 1.5, 3 hours go, plus 1 hour, 4. So when you come back exhausted, you think I'm going to make a video. Hey, hi, this is Loy Machedo. No, come back home. And guess what? After I come back, I have these pets, these aged animals I have to clean. That goes, roughly half an hour, 1 hour. Okay, I finish that. After that, I'm alone. So I have to keep everything clean and sorted out, maybe washing other things. Okay. They'll say, hey, not a big deal. Yeah. Okay, fine. But I have to generate content, right? This content, these videos. And in order to generate these videos, like if you notice, like right now it's nearly 30 minutes. I have to talk. Can you talk 30 minutes just easily? No, not that easy unless you have experience. And I have to know what to talk, right? Okay. And the minute I come and sit down, and let's assume I'm in the zone, I'm going to make a video. Okay. I'll ignore the pain. I'll ignore everything. I'll act, can make the video. And suddenly a client sends a message and says, hey man, so-and-so is the issue. Oh, okay. Now I was ready to make a video. Client is ready to talk to me. I have to stop the video. And when the client talks, I can't say, hey, listen, I'm busy. No. If I'm committed to a client, I'm committed. And that ends up maybe 2 hours, 3 hours talk sometimes. And then you're exhausted. And then you're hungry. And then you're like, I better eat something. And by the time you eat, you're like, I'm sleepy. And then you're like, okay, I'll make the video later. And then you sleep and get up. And once you get up, once again you realize, oh, sheesh, man, I have to make that video. Oh, I have to clean the cages. Wife will call. See, I know these are small problems. Yes, you're absolutely right. They are small problems. but their problems nevertheless, right? I can't measure and tell you how much pain there is. Can I? I can't. I can tell you it's painful little, but I can tell you it's painful enough that I'm not able to sleep. If I'm not able to sleep, have you ever tried, if you're in your 30s or 40s, say late 40s only people will understand this. If you don't sleep and you wake up with 1 to 2 hours just sleep, can you perform? Can you give an amazing presentation like 30 minutes, 40 minutes? Can you talk? And also 3 videos? Just try that. Can you have clarity of thinking or clarity of thought? Can you talk to your clients for 1 to 2 hours and give them the best because they're paying you? And can you do all this and deal with the incompetence of other people and the travel and the traffic and the demands of the family? You get pulled in so many different directions here. See, it's not like the sufferings of people in Syria. No way. No way. I will never say that. But these are day-to-day challenges you and I face, where every single decision, every single interaction, every single moment, you are being tested to give the best. Like an employee who's under tremendous stress, has an asshole of a boss, has stupid colleagues, has office politics, and is supposed to execute his task, even though there are people making his life miserable, and he has to answer the emails, and he has to answer calls, and he has to speak to clients. These are the challenges we all face. So, in conclusion, no, I'll just tell you what I spoke to that guy. I told him, man, the struggles of life is real. Okay, what you're going through is not a joke. I did highlight certain examples of other businessmen whom he knows. And end of the day, I told him, see, listen, no matter how tough it is, no matter how hard it is, no matter how many times you have to face, you've done it before, you'll do it again. But there's no guarantee. We can't look at the past and say, because you succeeded before, you'll succeed again. No. You have to be at your A game. And sometimes you may have to take very, very tough decisions where you'll have to cut off maybe relationships, you'll have to change your lifestyle, you'll have to make take certain steps which are very uncomfortable, which maybe maybe when you're in your 20s and 30s, you could sleep only 2-3 hours, go to the nightclub and come back next day and work and go with your friends out and go with your girlfriend and have a great sex and then go to for a workout and then come to. Your body was different in 20s. Now when you're in your 50s, if you don't sleep your perfect 8 hours, you can't function. If you don't take your supplements and your medicines and eat on time, you can't function. I said, you're getting old. I'm getting old. We have to change the way we do things. And as we face a changing environment, the challenges become harder and harder. So you do what it takes, what is necessary, which may not be pleasant. And that can involve anything from, telling certain relatives you're no longer going to entertain them, or uh, terminating some employees, or maybe even shutting down a business or a branch. Say, I can't travel 20 kilometers or 50 kilometers every day just to check on that business. It's too much. Maybe I can deal with only 3, not 5. So I spoke to him specifically in relation, and obviously I can't give you the exact solutions I gave him. But at the end of the day, he was like, thanks. I appreciate, man. That's why I deal with you, and that's why I've been with you for so many years. And that's why we concluded. At the end of the day, one day you and I are going to go to our grave. Everything is whatever we earned and whatever we did, and it's just going to all disappear. Forget the legacy. Nobody even remember what legacy. We can't remember our grandfather's name, great grandfather's name. We don't know what legacy. Nobody's going to be fucking bothered. We're all going to die. But From the time we are born to the time we die, this in between, this is what truly matters, and this is where you have to live a life worth it. And yes, we will face challenges, we'll face problems, but like I tell people, take one day at a time. One day at a time, and deal with that one problem, which is so important that if you solve that, rest of the other problems will fall into place. Or rest of the other problems are not so relevant because that one problem was handled. That's what I share and do with my clients. And I guess because I keep it real, I keep it grounded and give them practical solutions, I guess that's why they've been dealing with me all these years. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Having said that, feel free, comment down below. It's me signing off. You guys take care.